I do not worship this thing, but I truly believe that this was real. How do I know it's real? It's by coincidence that I actually found it. I was randomly searching on the internet, and then once I found it, some random coincidence, I just had these images, these flashbacks, these memories that I remember having as a child. A dream, a few dreams actually. And let me explain. The devil's name is ADONAI, and he fell from paradise, which was once Olympia, which much people consider. Ares, the son of Zeus, was bored of his games that his father was testing with, and realized the greatest game is to overthrow the father. Aphrodite was banished for her disobedience and the wanting to be excelling. So she was banished into the underworld and stuck into the abyss. Ares and Aphrodite communicated together, and they made a plan to entrap their father, their creator, the Almighty, whoever had power and manipulated electricity, the finest of all energies, which can ionize things, separating molecules and rearranging it into another structure. And whoever has pure conscious control over electricity governs the universe. Because everything is electromagnetic radiation emitting heat or a certain temperature, and absolute zero is the coldest possible temperature there is, and everything else is fire. It just feels differently. The cold air will burn, and hot air will burn. Back to the story. Ares and Aphrodite made a plan. Ares went to his father and said, "The Hebrew people whom you rose from the sea and given them legs and protection from the sun, for their redemption, they had to slave for the Nubidian pharaohs. Or they do not worship you. They do not believe in you, and they do not know. Well, they actually do believe in some superior deity in whom the Nubidians worship, but they have not seen you in flesh or an image." So Zeus was like, "Well, not all things need to see, as long as they believe and hear." Because the Hebrews back in the day, they could literally hear what whoever Zeus was, his thoughts, his commands of what they wanted him to do. And the whole point of creating these electromagnetic radiated propulsion systems was to ionize the Earth's atmosphere, having electricity basically disintegrate everything in existence. Basically, Midgard, Earth, was the dumping ground of all creations. All imperfect creatures were sent to the underworld, while all perfect creations were in paradise. Adonai became to be when Zeus was imprisoned in this hellish world and crucified longer than anything can ever exist, and he cried out demonic voices, laughing uncontrollably, like he was in pleasure, like he never felt it before. If you're a godly being and all you feel is bliss, then the only sensation you will come up with is pleasure. Pleasure is a painful experience that is satisfactory. Zeus did not transform until he got off the cross, went into berserk, and started feasting on a massacre of all the Hebrews. Back in the day, the atmosphere was a lot different. Blood was oxidizing inside our bodies. The iron, the rich iron inside our bodies, oxidized a lot faster than it does now. So when they bled, it bled black, not red. It was black blood that they were bleeding. And the more this oxygen erosive blood that Zeus, the demigod Zeus, feasted upon, the more demonic and abominational he started to grow. He grew to 13 feet tall, 6-inch horns, a 4-foot-long tail. His skin started to turn bluish silver, dark. Why was he a demigod? Well, before Zeus agreed to come down upon Ares' request, Zeus loved his children with all his heart and wanted anything for his children. And Zeus was like, fine. If you really want me to do this, then I will. But before I do, I will separate all our godliness and combine it into one. I will make one last creation before I fall. And the rest of his family said, you can only come back if they accept you as who you are. And the deal was made. Everybody rose their hand, waited until the planet was the closest to the underworld, and used electromagnetic teleportation with pure consciousness, warped themselves into a desert, 12 disciples, and one Christ. They walked the desert, found themselves to a Hebrew camp. They looked at him strange. These pale skin, black hair people looked at this brown hair individual with a beard very strangely. We've never seen this before. Who is this person? He is not of us. What does... And everybody started to grasp. Could this be the prophecy in which Aphrodite told us? Our Messiah rose from the sea to speak of this prophecy? We must do what it said. She promised us freedom. We must. So, when Zeus came down and announced himself as the Messiah, announcing himself as what Aphrodite prophesied him to say, the Hebrew people automatically, in fear, grabbed him, put him onto a cross, and tortured him, stabbing him, whipping him, throwing stones. And all he could do was laugh uncontrollably, warning them, you do not know what you are doing, and this is an entire mistake. Zeus got tired on the cross. He could not die. He gave up and just pretend to die. He closed his eyes, held his breath, and when they took him off the cross, his eyes opened up, grabbed the nearest neck, and just took a chunk out of it, throwing the body, going berserk like tornadoes and aerials, slaughtering the Hebrew in a deadly massacre until he grew 13 feet and had 6-inch horns. There is folklores of the gods coming down with clouds as their feet, wearing horn helmets, obliterating their enemies. Lust and war control this world. Desire and wrath. Baruch atah Adonai Elohim means, may our Lord come down and bless us. May our Lord, fallen from the dawn, come and bless us. When Zeus was finished or tired of his berserk, a brave Hebrew priest came up to him. What have you done? What? We did not know this would happen. We were prophesied freedom. We weren't promised this. Please show us mercy and we will call you our Lord. Please show us mercy. Zeus was like, I cannot accept the image of myself to be like this and be announced as Jesus. The Hebrew priest said, where have you come from? Where has this omen come from? Zeus pointed to the sky. ADONAI. For he was trying to tell him that he came from the dawn, from another planet. He came from paradise to announce himself as the Messiah in an image for all to see, not just a voice. There is a thing that was hidden away. Black blood. Not black people blood. No. Blood that's actually black. Containing the most vicious virus ever in existence. But also containing immortality. This blood came from ADONAI. For ADONAI was both darkness and light combined. Now let me tell you something, a vision I had. The devil sat on a stone throne and carved with golden script, and whomever sat on the stone will ignite in flames, in invisible fire. He sat upon this throne, and he made his children abundant. The devil could reproduce himself, impregnate himself, and provide his own offspring, ADONAI. a hermaphrodite being. Zeus was like, what should I come down as? A man or a woman? And Hermes was like, what about both? And Zeus was like, alright, I shall come as both. This black blood was hidden in a wall with the picture of who it came from. And in this wall had thousands of golden bricks. Thousands of golden bricks with basic instructions to build a Nazi army. Why a Nazi army? Because God does not wish to be announced as ADONAI, a false name. El Serpent, O him, the serpent of him. Lord of eternity. The devil sat on a stone throne, made his children abundant, taught his children how to speak. When he said, I am the Lord, his children said, Yeshua, Yeshua. The devil would punish them, for they did not say, yes, you are.